Roblox 2024 was such a bad year that I don't even believe it should be written down in history books, but we finally made it to 2025 somehow after the terrible curse of 2024, and we just made it through the first quarter, and all I have to say is we might be back right where we started. But going through all of the games that we've gotten from January to March, we just have to start with the month January, of course, because that's how this works. But starting off for January, we low-key did not get a lot of games this month. We literally got 2, but January 22nd, we got Volleyball Legends. Now, if you haven't played Volleyball Legends, I can save you the trouble. Volleyball Legends is literally Blue Lock Rivals but Haikyuu edition. This marked the first Roblox anime game trend we've seen in 2025, and it actually started in 2024 technically with Blue Lock Rivals, but I knew when Blue Lock Rivals did as well as it did, developers would try to leech off of it and milk the game as much as possible. And if you thought that this would be the only anime sports game that we got within these 3 months, buddy, you're wrong. But moving on to the next game of January and final game of January from all the games that I've personally seen released in January, on January 31st, we got a game named Kagurabachi Battlegrounds. Now, to be completely honest, I don't really know how I feel about this game, because I'm not the biggest Battlegrounds fan, but I do love Jujutsu Shenanigans, and when I played this game, it reminded me of Jujutsu Shenanigans for a little bit, but then it started to feel like they were just copying. Now, you can't take it all away from them because they do have their own unique features, but at the end of the day, the game is literally kind of like Realm Rampage. Tried to be like Jujutsu Shenanigans but failed, and I think any game that tries to be like Jujutsu Shenanigans is honestly just bound to fail. And y'all can't even say that's glazed, because every game that's tried to copy Jujutsu Shenanigans destruction just has not clicked like Jujutsu Shenanigans clicked. But moving on to February, because like I said, January was a short month. On February 1st, we got a game named Archive, and I'm gonna be so honest, I can't give my best opinion on this because I sadly didn't get to play, so I just asked around how the game was, and low-key, I'm going off other people's opinions. But from what I've basically seen in the game, it looks pretty unique. They have a Trello because you have to do all this different type of stuff. You have contracts to do your quests, they have boss fights, and those bosses look OP. I'm gonna be so real with you. Given I haven't played it, I've seen some cheeses, so I know that them bosses are not fun to fight. But to be fair, I don't know any negatives for Archive besides the fact that it's only open on weekends, which doesn't make sense to me, because why don't you just have it open 24/7? Why would you manually go in and open it on the weekend? Who is like, oh yay, I'm finally off of school, let me play some Archive? Nobody is thinking that, and maybe some people are, but this weekend I will definitely give it a try. After this video is up, I will probably be playing Archives because this video is going up on a Saturday. But comment down below what you think about Archive, because low-key I don't have my own opinion on it. But moving on to the next game, which actually came out literally a day after, on February 2nd, we got a game named Jujutsu Odyssey. And honestly, if I'm being real with you, I have nothing to say about this game. Think about GPO, then go a step down from that to Project Slayers. And me personally, I got Project Slayers above GPO, but that's a conversation for another time. Then go a step down from Project Slayers, you're at Project Mugetsu. Then go another step down from Project Mugetsu, and you have Jujutsu Odyssey. No hate to anyone on the dev team, but the game is literally like any of those games I've listed, but since we've already played all of those games before, it felt like nothing new. It was just that type of game, but a Jujutsu Kaisen game. But moving on to the next game, on February 5th, we got a game named Basketball Showdown. And all I have to say about Basketball Showdown is Basketball Zero is better. I mean, both of them are kind of crazy, because why don't you have out of bounds in basketball? And if you want to say that, why don't you have out of bounds in soccer in Blue Lock? And then you can just straight up goaltend in Basketball Showdown, and it's just not fitting for a basketball game. But hey, if you want to play an anime basketball game, just play Basketball Zero, because Basketball Showdown low-key is not it, I'm not gonna lie. And if you want to go more into depth, you can say that Basketball Showdown is a copy of Blue Lock Rivals, and Basketball Zero doesn't necessarily count because the owner of Blue Lock Rivals made it So, you know, it balances out. But moving to the next game on February 8th, we got a game named Rune Slayer. Now, where do I start with Rune Slayer? I literally don't even know where. Maybe we could start off with the fact that the game shut down like, what was it, 3 to 4 times, and then it finally reopened and stayed open this time. The game has plenty of issues such as terrible optimization. I don't know if that's on Roblox or on the developers of Rune Slayer, but playing this game was almost unplayable. The NPCs know more tricks than Tony Hawk did with the skateboard. They're just better than us in every way, shape, or form, and they're almost impossible to beat solo. The drop rates are insane. They hired Cetro, and Cetro ended up quitting within the next day or two. I don't exactly know why, but bro ended up quitting because he knew Rune Slayer was too far from saving. And that pretty much sums up Rune Slayer. It has plenty of issues. It has a good base plate to go from, but they just need the right people to fix it, and the Rune Slayer could be doing much better than it is right now. But moving on 10 days later to February 18th, we got another game, and this game was named Azure Latch. Now, this is another game that I don't exactly know how I feel about it, and I'm not going to go out there and say it's a Blue Lock Rivals copy since the gameplay is different, but you can be honest with yourself. Azure Latch would not exist on Roblox if it was not for the release of Blue Lock Rivals and the success that Blue Lock Rivals saw. We just wouldn't have Azure Latch, and there's no other way around it. But when I played this game, the GKs are demons. The GKs are more advanced than humans. The GKs are more advanced than ChatGPT. The GKs would block anything, and I mean anything coming their way. I think I have a total of 3 goals in Azure Latch, and I played for at least an hour. And in these type of games, your teammates really just don't pass to you, so I played in a private server, but I still wasn't scoring against the GKs. That's how different they are. You could kick it far right, top bin, whatever, top right corner, that's top bin, whoever, whatever cares. I'm getting flustered just talking about this game. I would kick it over there, GK's full left side. He would teleport and he would catch it. It's just almost impossible to score in this game. Now, given, I don't know if they changed it because I haven't played it since. I don't plan to play it again, but that's just my personal opinion of Azure Latch. I know some of y'all probably feel differently, but if they didn't fix that GK junk, this game is cooked. The graphics are cool though, and the gameplay is cool. But moving on to our next and final game of February, on February 22nd, guess what? We got some more booty on this platform. We got a game named Ninja Time. And honestly, I don't even know what to say about Ninja Time because I talked about it on TikTok and I wasn't a fan of it and people hated on me. But I'ma say what I say, and I'ma say it with my chest. When I saw the trailer for this game drop and people were glazing it in the comments, I thought maybe it was just some sick type of joke and people didn't actually like the game and they were just trolling. No, I was completely wrong. When the game released, people were glazing this game. It had 70,000 players, but now it's sitting at 1,000 and sometimes even under that. And I'm not saying that this is rightfully so, but the game did have a game pass that was 4,500 Robux. If all of the game passes in your game total up to 18,000, which is almost 20,000 Robux, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear anything about your game because your game is a cash grab. If you want to get even further into things, when you spun for a clan, when you spun for a technique, whatever you were spinning for, it didn't even have the name listed. Given I haven't played the game since release, I don't know if they updated it, but this was something that was an issue with the game. The game also had plenty of bugs, and bugs can be fixed, but the main thing I saw people saying on TikTok was, the game just released, give it time to get better. And I don't understand this. It's not like the developers are gonna go into the game, change the code, change the gameplay, change everything about the game to make the game actually enjoyable. No, they're just gonna fix some bugs. They're gonna add more stuff you can buy. I also didn't like the combat. I also didn't like anything else. I'll give the game the VFX and map, but I didn't like the animations. I didn't like the progression, and the fact that the Hokage for your village was the same as every other village. Come on, can we not be like Shindo? And I'm not saying Shindo's a crazy game either. Shindo was good in his prime, but if you're still playing Shindo, buddy, you need to move on. But finally making it out of the month of February, we were met with the month of March, and we just upgraded from regular run-of-the-mill booty to super extra ultimate trash on the platform. I'm talking straight slop. Nah, I'm joking. Not all of it is straight slop, but some of it low-key was kind of pushing it. But for March 1st, the first game of the month, the opener to the last month in quarter one, was a game named Hollow Era. And boy, oh boy, like I mentioned for plenty of other games, I genuinely don't know where to start. I tried out this game because I'm like, oh, it's another Bleach game. We already got 1,000 of those, but I'll still play it because why not? And obviously the game started off, and it didn't start off too strong for me. First off, fast travel is not free, and you have to traverse the 7 seas for each and every single one of your quests. The combat is buggy. The combat is buns in general, if I'm being real with you. And tell me why, when you don't have your sword equipped and you're using fists, you're still punching with the sheath of your sword. That just doesn't make sense to me. And no, I didn't progress that far before you guys say, oh, the game gets good when you get your Bankai after the 456th trial. I was not making it to the 456th trial. If a game has a weak opener, I'm gonna assume the conclusion is not strong. So no, I do not like that argument saying you gotta progress through the game for it to actually get good. That's like saying I need to watch Rent a Girlfriend to the 4th season before the story actually starts kicking in and I get hyped out of my seat. It's just not gonna happen. And I'm not gonna jump to conclusions, but I'm gonna assume the game is a bandit beater because all I was really doing was beating up hollows. So, you know, it's kind of like, what am I doing here? But on this same exact day, March 1st, we got a combat test for Final Stand. And I'm gonna be straight up with y'all, I didn't even play it. And to be completely honest, I didn't even play the OG Final Stand. So I know you Final Stand fans are happy right now, whatever's remaining of y'all, because there's no Dragon Ball games for you guys to eat. And y'all are finally getting one. I don't know if it's releasing this century, but there was a combat test. And who knows, was it fun? Who knows? I ain't play. And on this same day, we still can't move forward yet. We got the one and we got the only. We got GHOUL. I'm probably still gonna make my whole video dedicated to GHOUL, but let me get something off my chest real quick. The only reason this game has 30,000 plus players is because you scoundrels, you fiends, you ogres, you monsters cannot wait for Type Soul to re-release. You guys are playing GHOUL as cope, because there's no way you get on this game and you're like, let me grind out these Kakujas, let me get this V2, let me play this combat. You guys are not having fun on GHOUL. You guys need to accept that, and you guys need to cope. Type Soul is gone. It might never come back. I think it will, but still, GHOUL cannot replace Type Soul. There's bugs left and right. The game just isn't made well. The developers aren't about as much drama as the Type Soul developers, and possibly even more, because they're selling specs and then apparently banning the people who buy the specs. Like I literally said, I can make a whole video on this. Let me know if you want to see it, but I'm still not done. This really shows you that if you throw parrying inside of a game, you can have the masses hooked like it's a hive mind, like they're locked on. Deep Woken ruined Roblox, and I'll say that. Now, I'm not saying Deep Woken is a bad game, don't go out and stretch that, but pairing becoming popular in Deep Woken and then becoming popular in Type Soul is now a cheat code for developers to get players for a game when the game is not good. And to close off my section about GHOUL, if you really do think it's good, bro, I literally don't know what else to say. Like I do always say though, play what you want to play, do what you want to do, but don't let it be GHOUL, because GHOUL is straight buns. But finally, moving off of that day and moving on to March 14th, we got another sports anime game, and that game was named Basketball Zero. Now, if you ask me how I feel about Basketball Zero, I'm gonna take you and pass you on to the next guy, because I have no opinion on Basketball Zero. I played it with my brain literally shut off, and then I kid you not, after like the first 5 minutes of playing, I just got off. Your teammates do not pass. You have people who can jump in the air above you like they're Yao Ming and block your shot mid-air, and I thought that was goaltending. Well, nah, I guess if the ball isn't falling out of the air yet, but still, I know it's a sports anime game, so it's not gonna be like actual basketball, but I still feel like this was a stretch for me. I could play Blue Lock Rivals, even though for half of the playtime, the ball wasn't even on the screen, and you best believe your teammates are not passing it to you, but Basketball Zero didn't really just click for me, and I know it's fun for others, but it personally just wasn't fun for me. But moving on to March 16th, we got another game, and the game's name is Jump Showdown. And I have nothing to say for Jump Showdown other than it's a Battlegrounds game. I mean, it has the classic Battlegrounds visuals. You'll see the classic Battlegrounds combat. You'll see I didn't see anything unique, and when I played, I didn't feel anything unique. Maybe I'm missing out, but to me, Jump Showdown is just the millionth Battlegrounds game that we've gotten on the platform, so it hasn't impacted me in any way. But then moving on to March 22nd, and yes, we're almost done with the first quarter, but we got Mashle Academy. And no, we didn't get Mashle Academy, we got it for Wave Zero. And speaking of Mashle Academy, I can give away 5 spots for Wave Zero access, so join my dead Discord server. I'll revive it a little bit with this giveaway. You might be able to win, who knows, but just join that and we'll get that situated. But Mashle reopening doesn't hit the same it did last year. I guess it's because I was waiting for so long that when it finally came out, I expected to be playing a game that was crafted by angels themselves, and it just wasn't. Sure, they added some cool new things like bosses, they added more areas to the map, they changed the quest system, and I don't hate that. And I personally do like the combat of Mashle, so I like it in that aspect. But probably I'll start liking it more when wave 1 comes around and more people can play, because right now if you want to progress you got a PvP, and all the people in wave 0 have not showered in months, have not showered in years, have not showered in decades. They have not taken a shower since the first shutdown of Mashle. That shows their dedication. I'm joking to anybody who's a sweat at Mashle, but you will get jumped if you play Mashle wave 0. You're gonna get jumped in wave 1, you're gonna get jumped in general, but right now jumping is at an all-time high, and the quest cooldown is 6 hours, so you can't progress solo. You have to be with your friends if you're trying to gank people, so it's just too much to handle right now, and you cannot run it solo. And if y'all haven't picked it up by now, I like running games solo mainly, unless it's my content creator friends playing, and then my friends who play Roblox low-key don't even be playing no more because it's dry. But to close out Q1 on March 29th, and since I'm recording this before March 29th because I'm posting on March 29th, this is just what I know so far. We're supposed to be getting Clover RPG testing, and I like Clover RPG. I like the last test, so I'm sure that I'll like this test, and I hope there's just more progression, it's less buggy and more fun. And of course I'm gonna be making videos for y'all if it is. And there's something else that's supposed to happen today. We're also supposed to get Paradox early access, because if y'all know what happened with Paradox in the past, it vanished, but it's finally coming back only a few months later. I think it closed back in October, November, something like that, but it's finally coming back. Hopefully they smoothed over the bugs, fixed what needed to be fixed, and added what needed to be added to the game so it can actually be enjoyable. And if neither of those testings actually do come out today, well then don't blame me, blame them, because they the one that dropped the announcement. And if anything else happens in Q1, what, on the 30th or 31st, that happens, it probably wasn't good enough for me to know about. And if I left out any games, maybe I just forgot, or like I mentioned previously, they weren't good enough for me to know about. And when I say good, I just mean popular, because an unpopular game can still be good. But I'm gonna stop my yapping. Make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss a banger again. I finally posted, and I'm gonna be so real with y'all, I have like no video ideas. That's why I've been posting less and less. And I'm not gonna plug my second channel, but if you know it, you know it. Have a great rest of your Saturday, or whenever you're watching this, have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.